Okay, so now this is the Gateway computer that came with that $30 bundle. It has a sticker here on the front, and it says it has a Pentium 4 running at 2 gigahertz, XP Pro, 512. I'm assuming 512 megabytes of RAM. It says DVD, CDRW because it has a DVD-ROM /R and a CD-ROM/writer. It has USB ports in the front, floppy, and it also says on the sticker an 80 gig. I'm assuming an 80 gig hard drive. So it does have the sticker here for Windows XP Professional. So here's that. I did kind of take some spider webs out of here because there was a lot of them. There's still some, a dead one right there, dead spider right here. So everything looks intact. It has a video card, fire card. What is this? Ethernet card, landline, and a sound card. Doesn't look like it's attached very well. And it does have a hard drive in it. It's a IDE hard drive. The 2 drives up top are also IDE, and they're all hooked up. Everything's hooked in. Besides this. Okay. Wow, what the? I unhook that shit? I don't remember unhooking that. Just plug these back in. So it does have. It has four channels for RAM, right? But 2 of them are dummies. Let's take these out. So this is what I'm talking about right here. Is you can see here there's no DIMM slots, and there's 2 of these in it. I believe these have to be in it for the system to actually boot and run. I just put that in there wrong. Yep. And this is a RAM here, and it does say it is 256, so it does have 512 megabytes of RAM in it. It has 2 of these. It says it's some kind of AMD video card. Won't take none of this stuff out yet. So I'm gonna try to boot this up and see what happens. Everything seems to be good. So I'm gonna run off the video card. Gonna go from VGA. And it's missing one of the standoffs for the VGA to screw that in. It's a power cord. I don't know if it's gonna. The system probably won't recognize that wireless. Probably won't recognize my wireless keyboard and mouse. Yeah, this is already set to Vista. It is on. I'll pan it up this time so you can actually see it booting. There's no power switch on the power supply, so it should be on. Okay. Nothing. Did I lose power? I don't think I did. I just tested the computer. So yeah, it's not showing any signs of life. It's got a button here, but it says test switch. I'm hitting this and nothing. It's not doing anything. So maybe the power supply's no good. One thing I did notice when I was hooking this in, it's like, so it has a 20 pin right here, and then it has this right here. I haven't worked on an older system like this in a long time, but the ones I did work on usually has 2 of these. I don't know, like, I'll test it with that, the other power supply coming out of the computer, because it's not screwed in right. I don't know if this needs to be plugged in. Everything else kind of seems standard. Here's a 4-pin for CPU power and a 20-pin. You stick that right here. Yeah, because I test the power button. Maybe I'll do that next. Maybe I should do that before messing with the power. But like, this is still not doing anything. This is like a test button. It's test switch, but it's a button. It's not doing nothing. The fan's not spinning up. It's not doing nothing. Oh, golly, that fan is toast. Yeah, that power supply is probably bad. That was like seriously just locked. I tried to move it and it did nothing. Yeah, I'm gonna guess that power supply is bad. The fan stopped working and it just kind of cooked itself. I'm gonna grab that other power supply, and hopefully I don't need this. We'll find that out in a minute. So this is the power supply from the other computer. Obviously I had it booting and running, so it works. So it's a 350 watt power supply. So let's give this a try. Hook the power from back here. It does have 20 plus 4, so we'll plug that in. Obviously I don't have this other cable, and I don't know what it does really for the system, so that's snapped in. And here's a 4-pin for the CPU power. Okay, I'll make sure this switch is, the switch is off on the power supply. So you'll plug that in. Now, only thing, there's like, if it's like the hard drive or one of these ROMs, the DVD ROM or CD ROM, then the system should work now, because now only thing that's hooked in, is IDE cables, and the front ports and stuff like that. It's not running out this power supply anymore, and the power isn't running to any of the drives. So you just turn this on. Oh, well, that's nice. Well, yeah, we're getting an LED on the motherboard now. So yeah, the power supply is bad. So you just go ahead and hit the power button. And look, I don't know, you can see, like, I don't have it panned enough. See that? Get the cord out of my way, man. See that? I don't know if you can see that or not, but it is lighting up. The power button's lighting up. It looks, is that orange but yellow too? But still not. So is the power button not working? I have a flashlight right here. Just look in. See what this cable is. It does have a little slit. I can see. It looks like the power button is a white and blue. Power button is white and blue, and it's going right here, which the power for the white and blue, you'll probably not see it, is right here. It's 3 pins over from here. I have no way to grab the power button. Yeah, hopefully it's just hopefully You know, this power supply's not going to be very easy to come across. Power switch. So you go over 3 pins. Right here should power on. So nothing. So the switch still might be bad, but this is a good switch here, and it's not powering on. Yeah, I don't know where to go from there. Besides, obviously, it's a power supply. That's bad, and I'm guessing this has to be hooked in. So this is going to be a super short video because I guess this needs to be hooked in for this still to work. At least I know this is the power supply in this is definitely probably bad. It's bad, obviously, because when it's plugged in, I don't get this. Yeah, I can't take you off the stand because the way the mic's hooked in now. I do get a little solid LED. Can't unhook it either because, like, so let's see. Can I pan? I pan it up, but I won't be able to see if you guys can see it or not. Like, yeah, I do get an LED on the top. Well, right there in the middle by the heatsink, you see a little bit lower and towards me. So it is an LED now, and before I didn't get that. You think it would at least, you know, do something. It's got a speaker on the board, so you think you get a postcode, fan spin. Even the power supply is not coming on. It's not even attempting to come on. Right. Cycle it and see what happens. Like if the power supply shut off, like there's a short in the board somewhere. Nothing. Yeah, I don't know what huh? I could I'll check the power supply off camera and see if there's anything obvious in there that I could fix here. I have another cheap soldering iron. Can't say that right. Still couldn't say it right. But I have a cheap one coming again because my other one decided. I tried to change the tip out and I unscrewed it, and it had a part that screwed into another deal, and that last piece that screwed in was plastic, and when I tried to unloosen it, that plastic just shattered. So, you know, I bought another cheap one for little jobs, little stuff that, you know, like changing capacitors out, you know, changing bigger chips out, maybe smaller ones if the tips are right? But it's a little bit better than the other one. And it came off of Amazon, and you know the reviews on Amazon isn't very good, but it had like 4,000 some reviews or something like that. You know, it could have been a product they were selling before, and then they switched the thing up. And yeah, I didn't really read it. I just needed something cheap because I need something here because I make like. I have any other cables out? Like it. You know, I wanted one here in case I need to make something like this. Like these are like stuff I use for testing. So right, this ain't supposed to be in here. So this is SATA here. So you plug this in. It used to be a splitter to two more SATAs, right? SATA power. But I took that and I just, you know, soldered some wires and heat shrinked it to a Molex. So I can go from SATA to SATA and Molex. So I made that, and obviously, you know, this was another adapter for Molex to an 8-pin. So with this, the last time I was using this, I was going SATA to Molex, and then a Molex, you know, to this 8-pin. So I had two different things jumping off. Yeah, I guess this is going to be the end of this. I'll have to kind of troubleshoot some more, and obviously get, you know, your guys' advice, because I never dealt with this kind of setup where you have a 20-pin and still this. It's either has 2 of these or just the 20 pin, right? So I don't know what the, I don't know if that needs to be on there or not. It's going to be a, you know, a short video. If you're watching this, let me know, like, yeah, this, if this needs to be hooked up. Because obviously I'd expect it needs to be hooked up. Because why spend the extra money on putting this wire and this connector in here if it didn't need to be hooked up? And if it does, is there a way for me to just like jump this? I'm you know, I don't know what the yellow, what is this, 5 volts? The yellow, this orange should be like 5 volts or 3 volts. This is probably 3 volts. This is 5 volts, and these are ground. Could I just jump them off myself from the power supply? Like, run this from something else? Like, make my own little plug to plug this in to get power temporary, to see if this board works, to see if it's worth, like, if I can't get this power supply to work, you know, at least enough that I can test this motherboard to see if it actually works. Because as it sits now, I don't know if it works or not. I don't know if none of this stuff in here works. But I know the power supply doesn't work because before it was no LED. With that other power supply is getting LED. But without this wire hooked in, there should be no reason why it would start. Right? So I'll hook all this stuff back up, because I don't want it jumping around in here. Because yeah, this is a system I would like to get running and actually keep. Like, I don't keep a lot of computers, but this is something I would actually like to get actually back up and running and keep. I say that, but I probably would list it. You know, someone got a good enough money and they wanted it, and they're actually gonna put a good use to it. Besides me, it'd probably just sit around and not do anything. It does have a regular CMOS battery in it, so it's a 2032 cell, so none of the capacitors look bad. Nothing looks like it's been leaking. Yeah, everything in it looks fine. It's dusty, so you know it hasn't been cleaned. Everything looks fine. Yeah, like, everything looks fine. And this is an AGP card, so I'll pop that out so you guys can see what it is real quick. And then I'll probably call it on this video until I figure out that power supply. I do have some cheap capacitors I did order, so if it does need like capacitors, I could do that. Anything else that's obvious, I'd have to order. So this, you can see, is ATI. Ooh, that fan is terrible too, but it's clean. Like, you can kind of see this, right? It's cleaner than the rest of anything else in here. Besides me touching in the stuff, you know, this card is cleaner than anything else in here. And this is a card right here. So here is numbers on here. I don't know if you'll be able to see that because they're kind of faded, but it is an ATI card. And if you know what kind of card this is, obviously, if you know what kind of card this is, you're definitely going to know if that extra power thing needs to be hooked up, or if you know if there's like maybe a way to, you know, like some kind of adapter that I can get to make that, you know, to get, you know, I'd rather try to manually kind of make the wire myself or jump it from another power supply over to that. If I could get that to work, for at least I can test, you know, the motherboard to see if it works. So that's why I'm going to try to get this working. You know, if I get it working, it'll be perfect, because it's be a nice system. It has Windows XP on it. You know, like I have some comments, you know, someone else commented in another video, yeah, I'd like to see Windows 98. I would definitely like to see Windows 98. You know, I showed it in another video, but the lowest thing on here says Windows 98. So I know this should work on Windows 98. I found that they have the drivers, so Windows 98 on here. All I do is, if I got this working and this hard drive actually had the OS on it, you know, XP on it, I wouldn't mess with this drive right away. I have two other IDE hard drives. One's a 40 gig and one's an 80 gig. So I'd probably put the 40 gig or something in here and put Windows 95 on it. You know, partition it off to like 20 gigs and 20 gigs or whatever. So I use a different hard drive in here and install Windows 98, and then test that little device and test all this other stuff too. Like, you know, what kind of games can I download and run on this system? It's another thing. Like, what games would you play on this? We really couldn't tell, you know, unless you know what kind of card this is. And all I know so far is a Pentium 4 running at 2 gigahertz, and it has 512 megabytes of RAM. But what games, if you had this system and it's fully working, what games would you play on this? Or what would you do with this system? It has an audio card. It seems like someone put some decent money into this when it was. You know, obviously it doesn't have a fan in the back, so I'd put a fan in the back. It does have, yeah, it says fan, so it's not like power fan. It actually has another one right here too. Fan 1, fan 4. So I could put a fan right here in the back too, just to give it more airflow through the case. Yeah, I guess this is the end of this video. It's going to be short. I was planning on doing this, like, have this be like the 4th video in the line, but I'll probably have this be the 1st, since you know I need the assistance of people to let me know, you know, what if this, you know, obviously I'm saying that I don't know if this needs to be run, but if it's on the board it needs to be run. That's kind of obvious, because they wouldn't waste their time on putting that in there. But is there a way to get it to work with a regular power supply running that, since it is a 20 pin and a 4 pin? Leave that in a comment, you know, or give me like a video or a form or something that shows you how to get one of these boards working off a standard power supply. Okay, I'm gonna call it. Thank you for watching. You know,